Hi guys. So I am filming here from Actopan, Mexico, in the Hidalgo department. Sorry, Hidalgo state. We call them departments in Central America. States here in Mexico. This is just a quick introduction to a series of videos that I'll be uploading probably over the next couple weeks. I'm still new to editing, so it's going to take me longer than it normally would, and I hopefully will in the future. So, long story short, if you didn't see the introduction video to the channel, go ahead and check that out. But basically, I brought down a dog to Nicaragua about 6 months ago when we moved back down there. And I did so by land. My dad and I hopped in a car from Wyoming and drove to Nicaragua. Unfortunately, I didn't video that properly. We might have another series on that at some point. But anyways, again, trying to make the long story short, I took the dog by land for the trip. I knew I would enjoy it, but mainly because the airfare was way too expensive. We would have had to take him in a cargo plane, which really would have just been prohibitively expensive, and that was really just due to his size. If he'd been a little bit smaller, he would have been just fine. But anyways, the car situation was tricky. Nicaragua only gives you 1 month to have the vehicle in the country. So I took him in, had the vehicle there for about a month, took it out just a few days before it expired. Thankfully, I have a buddy of mine in El Salvador, and I was able to leave it with him, and it worked well for him. He didn't have a car at the time, and he was car shopping, so it worked for him. He got to have it. I got to have it out of the country because in El Salvador they give you 6 months on their permit. So, anyways, last Friday morning, I left Nicaragua. I left Matagalpa and started hitchhiking, actually. I hitchhiked from northern Nicaragua to northern El Salvador. It took me about 2 days to do that. So this video that we're going to dive into right now is going to be my experience hitchhiking across those 3 countries. And then after that, I picked up the car. My dad flew into San Salvador, and he met us in northern El Salvador, and we've been driving since. So this is going to be a series of videos just documenting the trip from there to here and beyond, so all the way to the U.S. I hope you guys enjoy it, and with no further ado, here comes the rest of the video. Right, guys, well, I said no further ado, but I guess this would technically fall under the ado category. So I just want to take a quick second to give you guys a little idea of the route that I was taking, so you can kind of follow along better and know what I'm talking about more. So started here in Matagalpa, went up here to Jinotega, Aranjuez. The first couple videos we're going to be going over is right in between those 2 cities. I then went up past this lake here, which is Apanas, up to San Rafael del Norte, up to San Sebastián de Yali, also just known as Yali. I came out to the Pan American Highway up by Condegas, went up to, let's see here, Somoto, and from Somoto to El Espino to San Marcos de Colón, and then I got a long ride all through here. The border, by the way, between Nicaragua and Honduras is right here. El Espino is the crossing point. All the way through Choluteca, Santa Elena, San Lorenzo, all the way to El Amatillo, and stayed the first night here in Santa Rosa de Lima in El Salvador. Alright, guys, as promised, we are beginning trip back to the U.S.
first ride of the day, about 7:30. The plan is to hitchhike up to the Honduran border today. Across the border, take a bus from the Honduran border to the border with El Salvador, and then resume hitchhiking in El Salvador. Probably not going to get to my destination of northern El Salvador tonight. That's where my buddy lives. That's where my car's at. But I'd probably be lucky if I get to El Salvador at all. So it's a long trip. All right. Over and out. Updates to come. Just thought I'd take a quick moment here to film some of the beauty you'll find in the highlands here. Some of the highest elevation country in Nicaragua. Probably some of the highest in Central America. Guatemala's definitely got some very high places. Should be able to get a decent view here in a sec. It's so cold here. I had to put my sweater on. It's probably around, I don't know, maybe high 50s right now here. Low 60s, probably low 60s with the wind. Feels colder. You grow things here you can't grow anywhere else, like cabbage, carrots, at least crops like that thrive here. Lettuce is another one, and obviously coffee. All right, over and out. Well, I just got dropped off at Aranjuez, which is probably one of the highest communities in elevation in the country. Beautiful, beautiful area. One of my favorite places in Nicaragua, but not very far from home. Probably just about, man, I don't know, maybe less than 10 kilometers. About 10 kilometers, I'd say. And I just got the shortest ride of my life. And it was funny because the license plate said Honduras on it, which is unusual around here. So I thought to myself, maybe this guy's gonna take me all the way to frickin' Honduras. But instead I got the shortest ride of my life. It was probably about maybe a block and a half. Anyways, it's all good. A ride's a ride, so. All right, over and out. Good morning from Aranjuez. Alright guys, I'm in San Rafael del Norte. Bit of a long slog to get here from Jinotega, even though it's only 20 kilometers, more or less. Yeah, about 20K. Not much of an energy drink guy, but just sounded good to me right now. So, just at the little supermarket here to get one. I'm gonna turn the camera around here and show you guys the church here quickly in the Central Park. This church over here is pretty famous, and my memory is that there was a saint here back in, I think it was like the 1950s, I want to say. Don't quote me, guys. I'm just totally going off the cuff of what I remember here. But anyways, in the recent past, that was known to perform miracles, and his bones are in there. So anyways, cute little town here for sure. I've always liked San Rafael. Got a little more developed in the recent years, but still got a lot of charm and character to it. All right, over and out. All right, guys. Well, I am in between Yali, well, really just outside of Yali. Heading to Condegas, which I just double checked on the map. It's a little further than I thought. Got a great ride from San Rafael del Norte to Yali in a little four-door sedan, actually. The guy passed me and then he came back and said, "Hey, can I take you to Yali? Would that do you any good?" I'm like, "Heck yeah." So, this road is all paved now, which kind of makes me sad. It was a little more pristine before, but used to be, this was all just dirt road not that long ago. But making decent time. Had kind of a dry spell there in rides, and there's not a lot of traffic on this road, I will say that. But here comes something. Okay, bye. All right, guys, it is about 1:15 in the afternoon, and I am on the Pan American here. I just got a great, well, two rides actually. The one was really something. It took me all the way from Yali, right outside of Yali, to the intersection by Somoto and Ocotal, which is just about 32 kilometers from the border. I'm now in Somoto. I got another quick ride. Both of those were inside a couple different trucks. Had some great conversation. Super nice guys. And so now about 20K from the border. So I should be able to get there hopefully within the hour. Get across maybe around 2:30 or so. We'll see. It's just me and my passport. No vehicle yet. No dog. So I should be able to make better time than the last few times I've been across the border. So, all right. I'll keep you posted. Alright guys, I did not post anything, I didn't film anything at the border, crossing the border, because on both sides I'm not allowed to film, so just decided to go ahead and avoid it entirely. So I'm here now in San Marcos de Colón. I'm gonna try and get to Choluteca tonight. I took a bus here, first bus of the day. I'm debating whether or not to hitchhike. My plan was not to hitchhike in Honduras, being that it is, the most dangerous country in the world. We're close to it. But man, it's hard to resist. So we'll see, guys. Never know. First time ever hitchhiking in Honduras. about 6:40. I was very lucky, very blessed to get to the border with El Salvador. I got a ride with a trucker, and he took me almost the entire way from the Nicaraguan border to the Salvadorian border. And I've got about a 2-kilometer walk here because he had to stay in the trucker line to get to the immigration. And then I'm going to try and get to Santa Rosa tonight, which is, I think it's about another 10 kilometers or so across on the other side of the border. All right, ciao. Getting close, probably like a half kilometer away now. Got a little pick me up, got some nuts, I was gonna say cappuccino, but a latte. Delicious latte. Gas station back there. All right. Physically crossing the border now. Just got my exit stamp from Honduras. All right, guys, in El Salvador now. I'm all stamped and legal. Easiest border crossing ever. Gotta love El Salvador. Sorry for the light there. It's not the best lighting in the world, but so that's probably gonna be it for this video. Tomorrow I'm gonna be hitchhiking up to northern El Salvador, and I will do that on a separate video. We're grabbing the truck in Santa Ana, which is where my buddy lives. Again, the very northern part of El Salvador. Tonight I'll probably stay the night in Santa Rosa. It's a little border town, but that is it for this video. I will catch you guys next time. Bye now.